Good morning, everyone. Good morning, good morning. Honored to have so many guests here today. This is an amazing turnout. I really appreciate it. To celebrate the start of a brand new Richmond elementary school. I think we have enough land to do that. Thank you, China Lake. This ritual of holding a groundbreaking ceremony is very important to get off to the right start. And I'm very proud to ask that Richmond students Kate, Sonia, Carter, and Rosalie lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance this morning.
Begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Nice job.
And now we have all of our Richmond students here this morning who will lead us in the national anthem.
Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleam, whose muskets in bright stars through the perilous night o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streamed, and the rockets regular, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Incredible job. Wonderful. Again, welcome everyone to this. Go ahead and have a seat, please. Thank you. Yep, and students. Okay.
Richmond, we're going to come this way, not over here.
No doubt a highlight of this morning. Again, welcome to everyone for being here, and thank you. We have dignitaries and guests who have traveled from Washington, D.C., and from Sacramento, and from other places, and I really appreciate you making that commitment and honoring us in Sierra Sands for the work that we have put in to this time. I'm Dave Ostash. I'm the superintendent for Sierra Sands Unified School District, and I would like to acknowledge a number of people, recognizing that everyone is deserving of being introduced. We don't have the time to do that, so I will take the risk of introducing a number of folks, and I would like to ask if you'll hold your applause until the end. And if you'd like to signify with a raising of the hand when I mention your name, you're more than welcome to do that. So I'll start with our Sierra Sands board members, our board president, Bill Ferris, Vice President Mike Scott, Board of Trustee members Mary Campbell, Robert Campbell, and Kurt Rockwell. Also, we have former board member Tim Johnson, who is here, and we have former Superintendent Ernie Bell. On behalf of House Speaker McCarthy and Assemblyman Fong, I'm grateful that Jessica Jansen is here to represent them. And we have Ken Lerner on behalf of State Senator Grove. I believe Philip Peters is here, our Kern County Supervisor, 1st District. Our Mayor of City of Ridgecrest, Eric Bruin. From the Ridgecrest Chamber of Commerce, our Board President, Chris Hill. Our Ridgecrest Historical Society Board President, Tex Hoppus. Our Commanding Officer of Naval Air Weapons Station, China Lake, Captain Vaughn. Squadron Commanding Officer for VX-9, Captain Zettner. From the Office of Local Defense Community Cooperation, known as OLDCC, we have 3 members. Lewis Littleton is here, our Western Regional Office Director. Hiwat Gebramariam, our Program Activity Lead. Diane Mathine, Project Manager. Our Deputy Technical Director of Naval Air Warfare Center Weapons Division, Brad Harlow. From the Office of Public School Construction for California, we have our Executive Officer, Lisa Silverman, and Chief of Fiscal Services, Michael Watanabe. President of Colombo Construction, Ryan Altergott, and Vice President of Project Development, Louis Varga. We also have from the Arcadis IBI Architect Group, Maurice Macare. And I do really want to give personal thanks and recognition to 2 members on my team who have really carried the district's work on this project with great diligence, great care, and great expertise. Our Assistant Superintendent of Business Services, Pam Smith, and our Director of Construction, Randy Coit. And of course, I want to mention our Principal of Richmond Elementary School, Mike Yancey. Thank you to all who are here. If I overlooked citing your name, I apologize, but a big round of applause for all those who So before I introduce a few speakers, I'd like to just set the stage a little bit, if I may. Recognize that groundbreaking ceremonies have been used for centuries to celebrate the start of a new venture and to give thanks to those who have made it possible. And there are a lot of people, many under the tents and standing room only, who are here to give thanks, and many others who couldn't be here today. The groundbreaking ceremonies have been adopted and adapted over time to fit the modern times, but they still hold great significance to the construction industry and our community that has been involved, and really looking forward to this. There's nobody who's quite exactly sure where these ceremonies really started, but they do have an important ritual around the globe for longer than we have written historical records. And the act of groundbreaking, as you can see, we have 8 shovels there. Thankfully, we have some soil that's been a little bit softened for us, let's say. They are a representation of breaking the earth, and to hold a ritual that would endorse a firm foundation and to really bless our school, the new Richmond school, for many decades to come. So I also want to say that in addition to the breaking of the earth ritual, our contractor, thanks to Louis Varga, shared that there is another part of the significance that is considered in the groundbreaking ceremony, and that is the ceremonious handing off of the blueprint from the architect to the contractor. So today we will actually enjoy those 2 symbolic ceremonies. One, the breaking of the earth with the shovels, and then the handing off of the blueprint from the architect to the contractor. And just a little bit of background, I mentioned that we have 3 members from OLDCC. The United States Department of Defense is really the organization that is funding the primary aspect of this job, 80%. It is administered through the Office of Local Defense Community Cooperation, OLDCC, and very specifically, the program that is administered is called the Public Schools on Military Installations, the PSMI program. And participation in this program is by invitation only, on the basis of a Deputy Secretary of Defense prioritization ranking of all 160 plus schools that reside on military land. And what I want to highlight is that the way I see it is that Richmond is sort of what we hope is a middle child. You'll recall that we built a new Murray Middle School. We modernized and built some new components at Burroughs High School. And now we have Richmond, which is really the third of 5 schools that are eligible and on that list. Next on that list, we have Pierce Elementary School Campus and the Buick Elementary School Campus, numbers 4 and 5. And so it's really important that while we're here with great excitement and anticipation of this beautiful school, we have a rendering in the back that you can see, actually a much bigger rendering behind me. And it'll be a gorgeous school, and it'll be a place where we continue to focus on student achievement and cultivating our next generation. But we need to remember as a community, the Indian Wells Valley, Ridgecrest, and the greater areas, that the 20% investment is a really vital and important element. We have been able to successfully navigate that in the last 2 and current project, and yet we have a really important set of tasks ahead of us to really work with our supporting agencies, but also our community in identifying those ways of investing our local resources that position the district, Sierra Sands Unified School District, for success in the coming years. Very specifically, the ranking out of those 160 plus schools, Murray was number 4 on that list, with number 1 being the most needy based upon capacity and condition. Burroughs was number 10, Richmond Elementary School is 37, Pierce is number 57, and Buick is on the list awaiting its prioritization number, as in the past. Until the last few years it had been a swing space school. So many of the schools across the nation have not seen upgrades or significant facility improvements for years, if ever. While many of these facilities are outdated and in disrepair and in needs of upgrades, the schools are also often operating at or above capacity with too many students, not enough classroom space, and are functionally inadequate. And so today, we are joyous, we're grateful. We have a lot of partnership from the federal government, from the state of California, and I'm very pleased to hand over the speaking podium here to our first speaker, who has been an incredible resource professionally and personally to me. And I can't say enough great things about our Captain Jeremy Vaughn, Commanding Officer, Naval Air Weapons Station, China Lake, and I'd like to invite him up for some remarks.
Good morning, everybody. It is really good to be here, and it's great to have the folks here from OLDCC. As we get started this morning, this is a great example of Ridgecrest Community and the Defense Department, China Lake, working together as a team. And many, many years ago, the way this program started is Secretary Gates was touring a school in the middle of Kansas, and that school had been on property and military property, and there had been some infighting about how that school is going to be repaired. And over the years, that school just wasn't repaired. And when Secretary Gates toured that school, he realized that there was a problem. There was a gap between the community who were sending their kids, their precious kids to that school, and the defense community who needed to use those dollars to ensure that we had a strong national defense. And so in that gap, he stepped with what is now called the Office of Local Community Cooperation. And Mr. Patrick O'Brien, who I hope is getting a chance to see this, either online or via pictures, thank you very much for your leadership at OLDCC and for keeping Ridgecrest on your radar. So out of that OLDCC work, over 50 schools have been repaired, replaced, or improved on DoD property. And like Dr. Ostesh said, this is the third one of we hope to be 5. And I had the great privilege of being up in DC and fighting for Pierce to ensure that that school would be repaired or replaced in the coming years. For us, it came at a great time. As many of you remember, 4 years ago, 2 massive earthquakes hit this area, and we still feel the effects. We are standing here because of those effects. Yet the community, the greater community, the federal government, the state of California, Ridgecrest, Kern County, all came together with OLDCC. And as a result, we are stepping here to put a new house, a new place of learning for those Tigers standing over there. So today, I just want to highlight the fact that on the podium in front of me, you see a book, and out of that book, behind that book, Great Mountains, which we see those snow peaks. Thankfully, a very calm and cool day today out here in China Lake. But out of those books, and great to have Beeve here from VX9, 2 fighter jets spring from that book. And that is the partnership between our local children, our local families, China Lake, the Department of Defense, and our nation. Because Sierra Stands School District is developing careers from the cradle here all the way to defense of our nation. And here we get stronger. Here kids that are coming to a remote area, moving from all over the world to help their parents serve their nation, are going to have a home where they can learn and help us defend our nation in the years to come. It is so good to be here. I cannot wait for this school to rise out of the ground. I can't wait for the Tigers to finally have a place to be after those horrible earthquakes. As we rebuild, as this phoenix rises, we do it together. Thank you.
And now I'd like to invite our project activity lead from OLDCC, Ms. Hiwat Gebramariam.
Dr. Ostash. Thank you, everyone. This is a very exciting day for us to be part of the official day where we're inaugurating the construction of Richmond Elementary School. It's been a long time in the coming. This project would not have been made possible without the close partnership between Sierra Sands School District and China Lake, our installation, your leadership, Captain Vaughn. And we're very excited. As we mentioned, this project was funded by the Public Schools on Military Installation Program, which is one of the grant programs we have at our office, the Office of Local Defense Community Cooperation. Its mission is to enhance the quality of life of military families, Department of Defense employees, and surrounding communities by providing quality education, by funding construction or renovation of schools on military installation. 100% we believe that this project will help us meet that mission. This is the third project that we're supporting. We're looking forward for our continued partnership through this project and through peers. And we really thank you for allowing us to be part of this. Thank you.
And now I'd like to invite up Executive Officer from the Office of Public School Construction for California, Ms. Lisa Silverman.
Good morning, everybody. How are you doing today?
Great.
Excited to be here? I am. So, no, I actually have one of the best jobs in the world. Again, I'm Lisa Silverman. I'm the Executive Officer for the Office of Public School Construction, and we manage the K-12 construction bond program for this glorious state. And just to be part of this is just phenomenal. As representative of the Governor's Office and the Department of General Services and the State Allocation Board that awards these grants to public schools, we have been the benefactor by the gracious voters of California to approve and authorize $42 billion over the last, since 1998. And recently, we've nearly got $2 billion in general fund proceeds, which is great to have a surplus in your budget and also to continue to fund school projects. But as we've mentioned before, we've had many successes in our program and actually authorizing nearly $40 billion so far for many schools in California. But it's also knowing that the investment is pure, it's for the greater good, not only for our kids, but for our local community. And it really means, it's really dear to my heart because I have past family members that have served and family members that continue to serve our great nation, so it really means a lot to me. And so just to mention that Sierra Sands, we have partnered with our colleagues at Sierra Sands, Department of Defense, OLDDC, as the acronyms has changed so far over the years, and our office as well. And we have pushed and push to see, even the times when we didn't have local funds, to find, I don't know what we call it, just couch cushion change, any change we had. And that change made a difference because it actually made our program thrive. And to also show the commitment and dedication is so important to continue to thrive and see our base schools, these base military project schools continue. And we're not going to skip a beat here because we're going to continue down the list and do our best to partner with all those that need these important dollars. So thank you again. Our match has gone a long ways in this program. Even here at Sierra Sands, we had nearly $21 million in combination of funds and local funds to participate in this public military installations program. And so far in this state, we have actually committed over nearly $70 million in other base projects. So that really means a lot to us. And that actually authorized 15 grants. And sometimes we look at our program saying, where can we find those extra dollars to make this work? A lot of site visits. And again, we're excited about this opportunity to have, again, $73 billion been spread statewide, and knowing that those commitment in dollars also mean a match, and over, nearly $550 million that will be also invested from our federal partners as well. So the collaboration is incredible, and this groundbreaking ceremony is just a deserving community, deserving children, and again, we're serving our best here and doing our best to honor this momentous occasion, and thank you again.
At this time, I'd like to call up, we have a few presentations, and I'd like to call up Jessica Jansen, who will make a presentation on behalf of House Speaker Kevin McCarthy and Assemblyman Vince Fong.
Good morning, everyone. It's an honor to be here. I just want to acknowledge, as they're leaving, our students again. They're the reason that we're here, and so I'm so happy that they were able to join us this morning. Sierra Sands has a reputation and a history of excellence, and I have no doubt that that reputation is going to continue through the construction of this new school. I'm so grateful to be here, and so on behalf of Assemblyman Fong, I would like to present a certificate of recognition. So Dave, if you want to come back up. And then also on behalf of Congressman Kevin McCarthy, a certificate of recognition and a U.S. flag.
That's okay.
Sorry, I'll give you that one. Yeah.
Why don't we come out over here? Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, keep us rolling right along. Okay, from the office of State Senator Grove, I'd like to call up Kenneth Lerner. Okay, I will.
So, good morning, everyone. My name's Ken. I am a field representative for State Senator Grove, and it is just an absolute honor to be here on her behalf. It's a beautiful day in one of Kern County's most wonderful hidden gems, the city of Ridgecrest. And as many of you know, Senator Grove has always prioritized the needs of education in the state of California, especially for our rural communities. And I also find it just very personally fulfilling being at these events with my mother being, it's actually her last year, but a third grade teacher over in Tulare County. So it's always, oh yeah, I love that. So it's always great being at the start of these projects, because again, I know what it's going to end up being. Filled with kiddos, filled with smiles, filled with learning. And that is just one of the most amazing things. It's, as was mentioned by some of our previous speakers, this project is really a testament to what is possible when our local, state, and federal representatives and agencies can come together and really achieve great things for our communities. So as part of the third ritual that we have today, we have a certificate of recognition from the Office of Senator Grove, and I would like to present this to Sierra Sands Unified School District. And as a famous LSU football coach would often say, go Tigers.
Okay, appreciate it. Thank you. And we have one more presentation. Kern County Supervisor, 1st District, Philip Peters.
Good morning, everybody. I'll keep it short, but I'm excited to be here today. This is going to be a great project. Whoop, about lost her. For our community. It's going to help Ridgecrest continue growing and developing our next generation of leaders. And so I'm really excited about this, like I know all of you are. Sierra Sands, I know, is a fantastic school district. I got to know Mr. Ferris in my time on the Kern High School Board of Trustees, and got to learn by some of their examples of how things are done out here. So I know that this project's in good hands, and it's going to continue benefiting the community for a long time to come. So I just wanted to share this certificate recognizing the investment in our community, and congratulate you guys on the groundbreaking. Thank you.
Appreciate it. And to offer some concluding remarks, I'd like to invite up our board president, Mr. Bill Ferris.
So keep it brief, right? I think, though, it's really critical for us all to understand how important it is to recognize who we are. So I want everybody to take a look around and see who is around you. Survey the whole crowd, because this is our community. And there are folks who have identified Ridgecrest, the Indian Wells Valley, China Lake, as a model community. And to that end, we have a significant responsibility. And our specific responsibility that we're here for today, you saw them all. They were here. I want you to envision what you saw, because in this country we understand that public education for all children is a fundamental, basic element to a successful society. And as a community, we are committed to that. And we must remain committed to that. The Navy, China Lake, and the federal government has been a strong partner and continues to be a strong partner in that community. But in that looking around, I want us to recognize that this community has many elements. We are all a part, and because we are all a part, we all have personal responsibility to contribute to that success as well, and to contribute to that foundational element of public education for all students. As Dr. Ostash mentioned, we're hoping this is the middle child. But to be successful, the rest of the elements of our community have to come together to recognize what our contribution needs to be to continue this process. So I challenge all of us to look within ourselves, see what we need to do to be a contributing effort to that success, because truly, those young people you saw here are going to be our leaders, and their public education will be the strength that allows them and causes them to lead. So thank you for all your support, and I challenge you to continue that support in a significant way. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Mr. Ferris. Extremely well stated, and I appreciate that. At this time, I think it would make sense to start with the second order that I mentioned, which is the passing of the blueprint from Maurice Macare, our architect, to Louis Varga, or whichever company representative you would like for Colombo.
Make it fast.
That's good.
So, there you go.
Take care of it.
You gotta hold it. You gotta hold it.
Hey, moment we've all been waiting for. So, what we'd like to do is take a series of photographs, because we would like to include a lot of different people. That's the hardest part of this whole thing, is how to do it in what order and so on. But what I'd like to do is start with a first of several rounds. And I'd like if Bill Ferris, folks, I don't know if Mike Yancey, yep, Bill, get a shovel, Bill Ferris, Mike Yancey, Captain Vaughn, Hewat Gabriel, Lisa Silverman, Louis Varga, and Maurice Macare, myself. And then after that will be Bill Ferris, Mike Yancey, Captain Vaughn, Mayor Bruin, Supervisor Peters, Brad Harlow, and Jessica Jansen. Thank you, Richmond Tigers. Thank you. Okay.
No hard hat. Got it?
All right, everyone. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, there you go.
This is the hard part. Okay, now, did everyone remember the next round? Rebecca's going to help with that.
Thank you.
Let's have Mr. Oscar Ferris and Nancy can stay. Captain Vaughn can stay. Let's have Mayor Bruin. Is he still here?
Yeah, right here.
Supervisor McKinney.
Already on my way. You told me. Round two.
Peters.
I got instructions.
And then
Yeah, Ken, I want you in this one. Perfect. Perfect. Yep, absolutely.
There's one here.
Okay, there we go.
Oh, here we go.
There's lots of room.
All right, 1, 2, 3. You did it for reals.
I'm messing around.
Okay, round 3.
Yeah, we need to repair
let's get
replace
all
our
of the board
divots,
members.
right? Yeah, good point.
plus Dr. Ostas, Pam Smith, and Randy Coy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Cam and Randy. Round 1, round 2, round 3. Watch the back. Watch the back. Tired working the morning. I was hoping you'd be here. Getting busy.
You want to holler out next round while we're repping.
Oh, yeah.
I can.
No,
After that, it's just a large picture.
Do we do shovels too?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I've been there, Randy.
How are you, Robert?
That's right.
Nice.
Okay, y'all. 1, 2, 3.
For all those remarks.
Yeah.
Here, Anna. Yeah.
Yeah. Board members stay, and then we have the community behind us.
Payback's coming, huh? Put your back into it.
1, 2, 3.
Okay.
All right, thanks everyone.